What we're here to talk about is a Chinese martial art called splashing hands. It's taught under Master James McNeil over in the US. And it's a street fighting system. The lineage is Master Hamea Lafiti, who also was involved in American Kempo and Luna Lama, and you can certainly see some overlap with those systems. It's a street fighting system, so we train the trainers on, we train open-handed, there's no weapons, it's very situational style. Because you use no gloves, essentially do a lot of iron hand conditioning work as well, to really make sure that our blocks are weapons as well as our strikes. Okay? What we're going to do today, we're going to show some of the building blocks of the splashing hand system. Yeah, so it's you think of it like Lego sometimes. There's loads of little simple bits and we can put them together into more structured things, and we repeat them, we drill them. Because in a street fighting situation, if you get in one, we'll fall back to the things you've done the most, the simple things. Okay, first thing we're going to talk through today is around the stance, and then some basic strikes, and then some basic kicks, footwork, and applications. Okay, so let's take a lucid step forward. We're going to go into a ready stance. Yeah. So this stance is quite a narrow stance. It's very much like a boxing stance. Yeah. But we close it off. Our feet are at 45 degrees. Our hips are, but we're closing off. In a street fight, we can be hit anywhere. Therefore, we close off below the waist wherever we can. Moving on to some basic strikes. Yeah, we're going to start with a jab punch. So we'll just do a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so you can see it's a basic 1-2. Yeah, we tap ourselves. Why do we do that? There's three main reasons. One is positioning. Yeah, so as we do the jab, yeah, it positions the hand to then throw straight out into the punch. Yeah, it also can be used as a block. Yeah, so you might slip as you do this. Passes it over the shoulder. Yeah. Second thing is timing. So we tap on the full extension of the arm. Yeah, and then again as you do the punch, on the full extension we tap the stomach. Yeah, as that is the trigger to either close the fist, or depending on what you're throwing, the hammer fist, an open hand, heel palm. You don't adapt to that, but that is the timing. And finally is conditioning. So after 200 of these, you'll get conditioned shoulders, conditioned body as well. Yep. You can also, that's that kind of a basic building block, at the end of this you can throw an elbow, a hammer fist, you can just alternate the strikes that we do. So if you do a jab punch, elbow, hammer fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see there as well, we're turning that waist and throwing your foot up as well. We're going to get the power from this awkward position into an elbow and a hammer fist as well. Next we're going to move on to the kicks. One of the strange things maybe about splashing hands is the kicks. We use straight leg kicks. Okay, so we'll do a few of these. Front leg kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. From there you can see we're keeping that leg straight, yeah? And we're also pulling it down super fast and stamping. Again, street fight situation, you don't know where you are, you don't know how slippery the floor is. Throwing a high kick is not always the best thing to do. So you throw quite short, sharp kicks into the knees. As you pull it down, it's preventing it from being caught. It's also potentially a stamp onto the foot. So it's a very adaptable kick that we do. We can also add to that any of the footwork and the strikes as well. Okay, moving on to the footwork, so now we're going to close the gap. Yeah? And this, rather than extension and pull up, we actually pull the feet together and then send them apart. Short and sharp. Okay, so we'll close the gap. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's great. Your opponent's on that line, we're on a straight line as well. Not necessarily the best thing to do, so we adapt that and come into where you do boxing, you do a jab cross, and then we come into that position, we step off that line so we can attack the opponent's centre line. So we just step off within a blocking strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also train everything both sides. we bring in a change as well, which is a really simple movement. We can add that then to all our moves. Everything is trained 50-50 right and left side. And that's because, you know, again, going back to the street fighting system, you don't know where you're going to find yourself, you've got to adapt to every position and not have a preference to the side. We're then going to do one where the close the gap only moves us forward a little bit. We want to move forward a bit further, move in reverse. Yep. I'll show you this. One. Three. Four. Five. And as you move through the system, these can be adapted. You can move 45 degrees either way, move around your opponent. You want to get on the outside of the opponent, strike wherever you can. And finally, sometimes those movements have had enough. You might want to jump into a movement as well. So we do some 45-degree jump shuffles. Okay, so we're going to jump forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't attack every single time, so sometimes we might need to go in reverse and move away from a certain thing we're not sure if we've got off guard. We need to move backwards. We don't move back straight because that's where our opponent is going. We move backwards and to the side. Okay? So, back jump foot down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what we're going to do is going to put these really simple movements into an application for self-defense. Yep, so if you line up, Luke's is going to attack David with a straight 1-2, and you're going to start with that step off and attack. Okay, so he's stepping off that centre line, getting on the outside. Go. Okay, now he's going to add in some of the movements as well to close the gap on the striking. Go. One more. Fantastic. Okay, now he's going to get off that centre line. He's going to go a bit too far. Yeah, so he's going to put out the way too effectively, and he's bring himself back into an attacking zone. Okay. Okay. Steps out wide, and now he's going to pull back in. That's all. We're going to move out of the way now. Something's coming in that we're not really sure about. We've got to get out of the way. Splashing hands, doing an aggressive system. You're not going to run away from the fight, which is of course what you should do. If we retreat, we counter-attack as soon as possible in the quickest way possible. Okay, so now Nick's going to come in, David's going to move out of the way, and then attack. Go. Okay, so we're sort of closed there, so thank you for that. And we have schools in Stockport, in Essex, Inverness, we've got regular classes. We do every single week, we do seminars in Stockport Centre, 2 days, last through a load of the syllabus, which is here in my hand and in my notes. And yeah, we're going to come and speak to us for over the Phoenix Freestyle Martial Arts area. We want to thank David, and we want to thank Lucy, who's a white belt, and we just put on the spot about an hour ago to come and do this. So thank you very much.